Coach 'em up, Dre! From Friday night lights to the college game, breaking down the players everybody needs to know by name. Coach 'em up, Dre! Football recruiting, big games and big plays, hot takes and real talk. This is the Coach 'em Up Dre
Welcome
podcast.
back to the Coach 'em Up Dre podcast, the hottest sports talk in all of Southwest Florida. It's Coach joining you once again. I'm going to do something fun and new as we kick off week 1 in Southwest Florida and all of Florida with high school football finally here. The wait is over. Week 0 is done. Plenty of teams had a chance to play, and I'm going to, let's just say, let's have a little fun together. We're going to look at these high school football programs as you would look at stock. 20 years plus ago, old coach used to have his licenses to sell stocks and bonds and things like that. I had my Series 7, I had the 63, 65, and what I learned is buy low, sell high. Yeah! Buy low, sell high. And then you got some opportunities, some investments, some things you want that you just got to wait on. You got to just hold the buy, hold the sell. So we're just going to get right into it as Coach Dre goes into his buy of the week. Should come as no surprise when I show you what stock, what team I'm buying, and I'm going to get into a little bit of reason why I'm buying this team, and I'm buying them early, and I'm not going to sell on this team. Yep. Good old Naples High School is like a blue chip stock. Okay. You just buy and you hold that stock in perpetuity because it's just steady. It's going to pay you dividends week in, week out. Okay. It's not too volatile. It's not going to go crashing because of one or two things. And it might not just go flying sky high based upon rumors of certain things. So Coach Powell's buy of week 1 for the season. You buy Naples High School. You hold on to this team year round. When you see this blue and gold helmet, just buy them. So let me set this aside and let me tell you why Coach Powell is absolutely buying Naples High School early. And I'm not going to give them up. First of all, you look at their schedule. I'm not even going to talk about week 0. Immokalee, acquitted themselves well. Surprisingly, Naples did when they lost as many players that produced for them last year, and they're integrating, they're bringing in a whole bunch of new players, surprisingly, jumping out to a 17-0 lead and just holding on with a 17-8 victory week 0. But the reason why I'm buying this team, like all great Naples football teams and even good football teams, they get better week in and week out. And it's all about district play. Now, Naples has a 10-game schedule for, I think, high-quality teams out of district. And they're only going to prepare Naples to be fierce in their district. That's why I have them as the favorite to win their district. Only Estero can challenge them. And I already talked about that in other videos. But Naples is favored to win their district. And here's a big reason why I'm buying them. And here's a big reason why they should win their district. It's who they play out of district. Nobody plays the type of schedule that they have. Week 1, they have Riverview, Sarasota, which is a top team. They battled that team last year. Again, Naples was a better team last year, and they battled to a 14-14 tie. I believe Riverview got out to a 14-0 lead last year. Then Naples rallied, and it was eventually called due to the weather. But Naples gets to host them this year, and they are breaking in, meaning Riverview. They're breaking in a new quarterback this year, who barely played last year. But Riverview is a solid team. They always are, full of good athletes, and they lost in week 0 to a team that everybody loves, the Port Charlotte Pirates. And, my man, the monster, the one and only, the horror show, Mr. Michael, Mr. Freddy Krueger, Mr. Jason, all of them putting a little pot together, a little gumbo pot. Mr. Bruce, just went crazy running the football last week against Riverview. And also Logan, the quarterback, had 3 or 4 touchdowns. So they held on against Riverview, Sarasota. So Riverview had a good test. They played one of the best teams in all of Southwest Florida last week. So that's going to get them really prepared to come down and face a good Naples football team who is going to fight you. Not quite there, explosive enough on offense. So if Riverview gets out on them, could be tough for Naples to rally. But I'm here to talk about Naples. I'm going to put the schedule up on the screen for you to take a look at. And you can see, look at these quality programs outside of their district that Naples has to play. They play two Palmetto very good schools. One is the Palmetto Tigers. The other is the Palmetto Panthers, along with the number one week one game versus Riverview, Sarasota. They also take on Manatee. So those four out of district games are going to sharpen them. Again, they finish with the Palmetto after they conclude their district play. So I'm buying Naples. They always play a tough out of district schedule because that only prepares them to be the toughest, most physical, gritty team within their district. So that's why I'm recommending and I'm putting a buy on Naples High School. Now, my other teams that I am going to invest just a little bit of money. I'm going to get my toes in the water and buy stock in the following four teams in no particular order. I'm going to put a little bit of fun money into Aubrey Rodgers. Yes, Aubrey Rodgers. I look at Aubrey Rodgers and my other team, the Golden Gate Titans. They are penny stocks, way undervalued. Nobody's thinking that these stocks are going to blow up and make a return. But looking at the schedule of the Golden Gate Titans, if they could get by week one, Clewiston, and they might be able to make some noise if they could get week one. Their first two games are at home. If they could go 2-0 and get a little confidence, Golden Gate might really be a tough out each and every Friday. And I heard they did very well Thursday. They threw the ball around very well, and they're going to be more of a passing team. So they're actually willing to open it up this year. And again, I talked about them in earlier videos. I had Coach Bajika on as a guest as well. And he's very, very excited about this season. So I'm going to put a little bit of fun money in the Golden Gate Titans early in the season. So I'm buying some Titan stocks. And I'm also buying a little bit less on Aubrey Rodgers. I'm going to put a little money down on Aubrey Rodgers early in the season. I'm looking for them to overperform overall throughout the season. I don't think people are really thinking much of Aubrey Rodgers this year, but I think they'll win. I think they'll win one or two more games than expected this year. So I'm buying a little bit of Aubrey Rodgers stock, going into week one. Now, two teams that I spent a lot of time talking about, and they got a matchup on October 9th. I'm going to put a little bit more money. St. John Neumann. Obviously, they put up half 100 this week down in Miami playing the team. I understand they rested a couple of starters. One of their top players, got tackled early. They were in a little jamboree or something down there. One of their players got tackled, got a little sore ankle, so they held him out. A couple other guys banged up going into the game. So they aren't at full strength, but they should be going into week one. They are at home this week, but they just have too much talent on both sides of the ball. And, I absolutely love the leadership from their quarterback. I love the quarterback play. And now they've integrated a running back, and they have outside weapons. And so I'm buying some St. John Neumann stock early in this season. And I'm also putting a nice chunk down on the First Baptist Academy Lions. I was there live to see them play. I'm buying them low. St. John Newman's a little bit more pricey, so my upside there is not that much, but my upside is in the Lions because they are way undervalued. And they have ECS, Evangelical Christian School, this coming Friday. I look for a big effort by the FBA Lions. They have a ton of upside. They're going to get a little bit more healthy this week. A couple guys were out injured last week. So they're going to get those guys back. And they are, again, young, a lot of new pieces. So I'm looking forward to my investment coming back big on the Lions. Big payoff by investing a nice amount in the First Baptist Academy Lions. So those are the teams that I'm buying this week. And I recommend you check those teams out, all right? Let me know what you think about those teams. But again, big money down on the Naples Golden Eagles. I'm also buying two undervalued positions, Aubrey Rodgers and the Golden Gate Titans going into week 1. And I'm also buying St. John Neumann. They got a lot of glitz. They're like a tech stock, boom or bust. But I'm putting some money down on St. John Neumann. And then I have a great position with the FBA Lions. Undervalued, but all the valuations, all the reports, everything I'm hearing, well run, organized, great structure. That's a buy. So those are the 5 teams that I'm buying this week, and I'm recommending for you going into week. Now, let me tell you about the schools that I'm just going to hold. I don't want to buy them right now.
Please continue to hold.
I already had a little bit money in them. I thought they were all undervalued, so I put just a little bit of money in because of these 3 schools. I just wasn't very confident because of a little bit here, one reason there, and then one school, just total disruption in management. So the money that I had, they started to lose valuation. Their price started to come down. So I was looking at losing money. So they definitely put me in a hold position. Here are the 3 teams that I have in a hold position. First, Immokalee. You know how much I love Immokalee. I had 4 of their talented stars on my podcast the other month. And these young men, I'm just rooting for Immokalee. I got more feelings than facts as I look at Immokalee. I just do. I'm just all heart for these guys. So I'm in a hold position because week 0, they weren't able to get over the hump versus Naples. And again, Naples is the standard bearer. And I talked to the young men about that. The 4 young men were confident about their matchup with Naples, but they came up short, 17-8. Same story. They can't stop that power running game, that veer game, and turnovers hurt them. They just weren't able to get over the hump with all that expectation coming into the season in hosting Naples in their building. They just weren't able to meet expectations, but I still like the pieces. So I got them in a hold position. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for Immokalee to take that next step because from the top down, Coach Delgado, all the way down throughout his staff, through the players. But again, I got more feelings than facts. You know what I mean? More feelings than facts when it comes to Immokalee. But they're in a hold position. I still like that team. They got some great football players. So I'm expecting them to do some good things this year. The other team that I'm looking at that I have in a hold position, and some people are saying, why aren't you selling that? I got them in hold because I got them at a great price. Let's just think about it, man. Coach gets terminated. His whole staff is blown up. Players transferred all over the daggone county here. They bring a coach from out of state. You heard all kind of different things about their spring season and, throughout the summer, and they filed a tampering, recruiting against a rival high school here in the area. Just so much noise, just so much drama surrounding Lely. It just seems like every couple of years, it's something here or there. But at the heart of the matter is there's some great kids. It's a great community. It's a great institution. Great kids, great families, great everything over there. It's just a sad thing to see when things go bad for a school like that and for a community and for players, more importantly. But I got them in a whole position. They played the Bonita Springs football team. It's Bonita Springs, okay? But it was still good to see a team that has been decimated and are playing people trying to figure out who's going to play quarterback. Coach is still learning this program and the way he wants to run the culture over there. So it's totally new. I know it's going to be a tough, long year, but it's a building year. So I'm holding Lely. I'm rooting for the new coach over there. I'm looking for them to, again, right the ship, settle everything, settle that company, get the stock in a settled place. And I'm starting to see that it's bottoming out as far as the free fall and what people think of that program. So I got them in a hold position. I think they may fall a little bit more before they start to turn around. And then that's when I'll start buying more. I'm not going to sell them completely because, again, I got them at a good price. I got them at a really good price. So I have some rooms for a little volatility, and I won't feel bad about it. But I'm going to hold on Lely for those reasons. Now, this school right here, when you talk about noise, when companies, when you start hearing rumors and you start seeing management and leadership changing, and you start to see key employees leaving, oh my goodness. Oh, it drives me nuts. I've lost too much on this, so I gotta hold them. I'm waiting for this team to bounce back. I thought I got them at a good price, but when things started happening over at Barron Collier, man, the bottom fell out on my investment. So I can't sell them right now. I'd be taking such a loss on them. I just gotta wait for them to turn around. All right, I gotta wait for all this to turn around. So now is week 1. What is Barron going to do? Who are they going to be? Well, week 1 is food for them. All right. Food. They got the Palmetto Ridge Bears. Unfortunately, Palmetto Ridge, who I don't even talk about. You know, they're just not an investment. They are still falling. They're trying to right the ship. I'm rooting for the new head ball coach over there, Mr. Jordan Hampton. You know, good buddy, good colleague. You know, we shared the sidelines together a couple of years ago. So I'm rooting for the Palmetto Ridge Bears, but they're still in a free fall. Okay, they haven't hit rock bottom yet, and that's just the type of team that the Barron Collier Cougars need because, whoo, I told you before, those that tell don't know, and those that know don't tell. It's so much I'm hearing, so much noise and drama. All I'm gonna say is this, man. If any of you Barron Collier players hear this, hey, pull it together, man. Hey, you got to be one band and you got to produce one sound. Right now, I hear the drummers are trying to play the flutes. I hear the flute players are trying to play the drums. I hear the drum majors are trying to go over there and play football. Man, look, know your job, know your role, and fall in line and go out there and play for your team, for your school, and more importantly, for yourself. So too much noise, too much drama, too much me, not enough we, if what I'm hearing is true. And when I tell you I know some things I think you found by listening to me over the past year, Coach Powell's pretty plugged in. So I lost a lot of money on Barron Collier, so they leave me in a position of a hold. If I bought them as a stock at a good price, which I thought I had them undervalued going into the season because they had a favorable first half of the season. I talked to you about this. Man, they could make so much money, 4-0, maybe 5-1 by their schedule. But man, now if they don't win some of these early ball games, and more importantly, if they don't adjust and they don't address those issues, and those that know, if y'all don't address those issues, man, I'm going to lose everything that I got invested in Barron Collier. So those are my 3 hold teams right there. Again, I repeat, I got Lely in there that I have as a hold. I also have Barron Collier, which I just talked about, which is driving me crazy. And I also have that team that I have so much heart and respect for that program. Man, I got feelings over my facts, and that's the Immokalee Indians. So those are my 3 teams that I got in the hold position going into week 1. Well, one team that, man, it hurts me to say I gotta offload this stock is the Gulf Coast Sharks.
Sayonara.
You know, love the head coach, love many of the staff guys over there. Got to know a couple of the players during the off season, but man, giving up 70 plus points in week 0. I know it's Venice. Okay. Probably every other team down here would have gave up 50, 60 points to that ball club in their home stadium. So I understand that. but 70 points is still 70 points. And I don't know if what happened, but 70 points is unacceptable, kicking off any sort of football season. And I know Coach TK knows it's unacceptable. I know the players know it's unacceptable. So they got to figure out something, and, they're not going to have that level of competition. I give the golf coach Sharks credit. They wasn't scared. They not scared to schedule one of the best teams in all the state of Florida. So they should get some points for that. But I got to see more out of the golf coach Sharks before I can really form any sort of opinion and to see whether or not they're a viable program in a viable investment opportunity moving forward. Now, the other team that I got to talk about that I haven't mentioned so far that is an absolute sale are the Community School of Naples Seahawks. And this is the reason why. Coach Dub has done a tremendous job. He is the returning district championship head ball coach. So it's something to say about somebody who has proven that they can win district titles. But boy, they are decimated by graduating players. They are decimated by transferring players. Their roster is thin. Yes, I heard about the tight end, talked briefly about him a couple of months ago. And they also have what I was told a week or so ago. They got this young man that's about 6'3", 6'4" wide receiver that nobody is talking about. They don't want you to hear about this young man. So they do have a wide receiver over there in the building that they're excited about. But what makes them a sale is the fact that they are just too thin. And when you look at their schedule, I talked about that in my last video. It's just too much to overcome. Okay. It's just too much to overcome that you think that those 6 powerful opponents that they're going to play. And again, I believe I said their combined record in 2025 was 57-19. Yeah, I just can't touch this investment. Okay. I just got to stay off this investment, give it 12 months, see if the company was able to make some turnaround, see if they're able to get in some better players, more favorable schedule, and we'll look at 2027 as far as CSN being a viable football investment. But that's Coach Powell's first ever stock report for Collier County football teams. Okay. So I told you about the buys, who I'm high on, buys going to week 1. I told you about the few teams that are just hold one of the teams and maybe even 2 of the teams I got an emotional affinity for. And then lastly, I talked to you about 2 clubs that, I just don't want to touch at this particular point in time. In fact, one of the teams I don't think is an investment for another 12 months. We got to get to 2027 to see if that's a football team that I would recommend investing in. But hope you had a little bit of fun. That's a little overview going into week 1. I just wanted to have a little bit of different flavor and talk, football teams in terms of stock investing, man. Who's hot, who's not so hot, who's on the decline. And that's where we talk about the buy, hold, or sell concept. But that's Coach Powell. Tell somebody. You got to tap in to the hottest sports talk in all of Southwest Florida. So I need your help. Click the like button, okay? Tell somebody about it. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Help Coach Powell grow this channel so we can do some really, really cool things. So that's Coach Powell, and I'm out.
Friday night lights to the college game, breaking down the players everybody needs.